4th and goal to go to the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Don't forget about Mr. Singletary, too, okay? Now, he's slowly getting pushed down on the roster here, right? Because, his starting job got taken from him from Tracy last season. And now, all of a sudden, he went from, like, number one guy down to the number 2 guy last season because Tracy was number 1, Singletary was number 2. And, I guess you had, like, Gray number 3. But now you got Tracy, then you got Skattebo if he can stay healthy, and now it looks like we got maybe Singletary once again is getting pushed down the roster. Now it's going to be interesting. We're going to be talking about the running backs here in a little bit. Because it's going to be a shame. We got some guys who all have different strong suits to them, and like one of them we're going to be talking about is Turbo Miller. Guy's super fast. It's a shame, that we may not be able to find a spot for him on the 53. You might have to try to put him on the practice squad and stash him on there, and hopefully somebody doesn't pick him up. But don't forget about Mr. Singletary. Right. Devin Singletary showing he still belongs in Giants running back plans. Now we have it's a good, sound running back group. There's no Saquon Barkley, there's none of these, the upper echelon. You know what I mean? It's a good sound group. If we can get some good blocking, the guys got some guys that can get some yardage for us. I mean, we saw Tracy last season, right? Seattle and Steelers had a couple nice long runs in there. So if you give the guy a hole, right? Let's not forget, right? Forgot about Tracy, who was a wide receiver, so he's got good hands, and Skattebo's got some good hands as well too. Don't forget about Devin Singletary. The Giants sure haven't. In the rush to pair up Tyrone Tracy's speed and cutbacks with Cam Skattebo's power and soft hands to keep with the NFL trend of young backfield tandems, he's only 27. The 27-year-old Singletary can get overlooked until you notice he is still getting first-team reps at training camp. When you first come in until you're on your way out, you have to prove yourself, Singletary told the Post. The second you get comfortable, you are definitely on your way out. There are running backs my age or older who are proving we still can produce. Singletary was signed to a 3-year, $16.5 million contract last offseason to replace Saquon Barkley. He was plagued by early season fumbling issues, 2 and 3 games, and a groin injury that caused him to miss 2 games, during which time he was unseated as the starter by rookie Tyrone Tracy. Right? Their relationship didn't suffer. I'm not going to be a surprise, Singletary told Tracy, of expectations in year 2. Just know guys are watching tape on you now, so it might be a little tougher, but continue to be you, and you are going to be all right. When the Giants drafted Skattebo in April, it looked like Singletary might become the third wheel. Instead, he has been the clear number 2 back, especially with Skattebo missing 3 of the past 4 practices due to an injury, like possibly a hamstring, and primarily used as a pass catcher when involved. I get where I fit in, Singletary said. The mix of Skattebo's high energy, Singletary's laid-back personality, and Tracy's cross between the two has made for one of the best rooms I've been a part of, the 7-year veteran said. It's a long season, and you have to have guys who can make plays, so we just added another who can make plays, Singletary said of his reaction to the fan favorite Skattebo's addition. It's a way to help us last and make the team the best it can be. Competition is always healthy. Singletary, then, is healthy too. That wasn't the case when he averaged a career low 3.9 yards per attempt on just 113 carries last season. Now, also to be fair, the offensive line was not super spectacular. Now, chances are, right, if Singletary had 113 carries with the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line, he wouldn't have averaged 3.9 yards per carry. So you got to keep things in context there. And he was running behind the New York Giants offensive line. I've never had that type of injury before, Singletary said. Now I think I'm back 100%. It just do what I've always done. Singletary's leadership and knowledge of the offense, he spent 3 seasons Brian Daboll's playbook with the Bills, is valuable, especially sharing the backfield with 3 freshly imported quarterbacks. But he wants to contribute more than just as a voice. Back in the day, there's times we had a first and second down back, and then we had a third down back. But sometimes that gives defensive indicators too, which is true. All right, this guy's in the game. We can eliminate some options. The one thing I hated when we had was it Thunder and Lightning, I believe it was, that they used to call Tiki Barber and Ron Dane. When Tiki was in the game, it's like, okay, we could run the ball. We could throw the ball. Okay, all right. Things are wide open. When Ron Dane came in the game, it was just always like, you're probably going to run the ball. Or if it was a pass play, you really weren't too overly worried about Dane. You need to be worried about Tiki Barber. So I always hated that. When you bring guys in and stuff like that, and one guy does this, and then the other guy leaves, and somebody else comes in. It's like, oh, okay, we don't have to worry about these kind of patterns because this guy can't run pass patterns very good, or this guy usually just runs the ball. The guy's always in the backfield. He's either running the ball or he's pass protect. I hate that. I hated that. Daboll said, I think all 3 of these guys are capable to run, to pass block, to run routes. So the more all-purpose backs you can have that can do a variety of things, I think that helps. So, as I said, the one thing you saw, okay, we have to keep an eye on, certainly with Skattebo. Sometimes his pass blocking was not super spectacular. And that is one of the things it's certainly for a young running back, it's extremely important. It's certainly not, it's not like you're worried about Cam not wanting to stick his head in there. Cam wants to hit people. Ain't no doubt about that. But you have to pick the stuff up. So that's not always that easy. And a sack on a drive is just almost a drive killer, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see. But if he can stay healthy, and he can get into these exhibition games, he's going to have his chance. The one nice thing is, like maybe Tyrone Tracy and Singletary, what you got there, right? But you're going to want to have Skattebo in there to see what he can do. You want to have maybe Turbo Miller in there also to see what he can do. One of the problems the Giants going to have, if you want to call it that, is how many, we're going to be talking about this very shortly, how many running backs are they going to keep on the 53? It's always a problem.